Hello, my name is Chase Murray, and this is my final presentation for EIU 4126. I will be doing my presentation on Chris Nikic, who was a um, Perseverance Award winner for this year's ESPYs. I talked about it a little bit in one of my discussions, but the reasons I chose this topic as a topic and person for my final presentation is for the disabilities part we talked about in this class, and that is just so how we look at people with disabilities. Because Chris Nikic had Down syndrome, and I'll talk about him and what he did later on in the presentation. But just how we look at people with disabilities and how much he influenced that and how much he is helping with that. But I will get right started in my presentation here. So, who is Chris Nikic? He's a 21-year-old man with Down syndrome who wanted to do something never done before. So he completed an Ironman, and he trained profusely for this. He trained every single day, and he did it every single. I mean, that's what he lived for, was getting an Ironman. He does more than one. He's completed one, and here soon he's actually trying for another one in October in Hawaii. And he always said the one thing he did to keep going and never quit. He said you get 1% better every day, and that was one of the he it's one of his mottos. It's what he goes by a lot, is get 1% better every day. But he's also an author, an Adidas athlete, and also a public speaker. He won the Perseverance Award, like I said, in the 2021 ESPYs for being the first person with Down syndrome to compete in an Ironman race. Now, an Ironman race is quite the race. It's a 2.4 mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and a 26.22 marathon in that order, and it has to be under 17 hours for you to complete it and become an Ironman. Now, his dad in the video, because there's two videos I shared. There's one that's actually his speech, and there's one talking about his story. And his dad talked about how if you have a child with Down syndrome, everything's a challenge because they don't get looked at as normal kids. They don't get looked at as normal high schoolers, teenagers, So everything you have to do is a challenge, and that's just making them feel involved, making them be included, making them, how they should be treated, how we expect everyone to be treated. But he said all of that is a challenge. You don't realize it until you're a parent and your child is going through that, or with any disability, or with anything really. Now, why is this? Why does him receiving this award matter? He has become an advocate for people and parents around the world with Down syndrome. So parents that have children with Down syndrome, or just the people with Down syndrome, he's become an advocate, and people actually know who he is, and he's very well known, and he's helped these people, and they look up to him, and he's done a lot of good things for him. He's had events, like I said, the 1% better. He has events like that for Down syndrome. He does a lot of awareness and a lot of good things for it, as he's a public speaker and an author. And one of his books he's producing was making was Get 1% Better Every Day. And he showed everyone that we're the same. I mean, he did something that I couldn't even imagine doing, which is Ironman. I wouldn't even want to imagine going through that. It would be great if I could, but I know I can't. Chris understands that also people with Down syndrome are not included because he's been through it. He's raising awareness for him. He said that when he was 18, he was overweight. He was, just not doing anything. He was never included. He was isolated. But he understands that his awareness is to change everything, because how we look at people with Down syndrome, we don't look at them the same. And that's, I don't know why. I don't know when it started, but we just don't. And that's never, I can't really ever say why people do. It would be nice as if people, didn't look at it that way. And that's what he's trying to accomplish. And there's Down Syndrome Awareness Month. That is awareness month for him. And that's also, he talked about how October is a big month for him because it's Down Syndrome Awareness Month. It is also his next Ironman that he's competing in, which is Ironman Hawaii. And for me, it's great that there's a Down Syndrome Awareness Month, because that's whenever people always talk about it. And people always bring it to, how we should do this and that for Down syndrome. But in my opinion, I don't know if there should really be a month for it. I understand why there is, but to me, they shouldn't look at that month and say, this is why we should, do this. It should be every single day. Every month should be awareness for them and help their fight, because they're not fighting to be included or fighting to show awareness. You shouldn't have to fight for that. It's not like anyone else has that.